Hi everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I have a layout for Hip Kit Club. I am using the January kits and I'm following along with this week's challenge, which is the Moodboard challenge. So this Moodboard is fabulous, so many beautiful bright rainbow colours and there's rainbow waffles in the top right corner, which my daughter now desperately wants me to make despite the fact that we don't have a waffle iron. She's like, I said we don't have one of those, and she's like, but well, can't we just make them anyway? I was like, well, no, not really. So anyway, that was an interesting conversation. I am being completely inspired by the rainbows, of course, and I have taken that fabulous rainbow paper from the January kits and I have fussy cut that out and I have preserved as much of the background as I can possibly preserve. I am going to stick some white card over it and offset it over to the right hand side, and that will give me my background. It will have a greenish border on three sides and not on the right hand side, and that works well because of the way the rainbow is coming off of the page. That's how I'm going to start off with things. I have 4 photos because this week's DT assignment for this challenge today was to use multiple photos. So I've printed the same photo 4 times. It's of me and my daughter with rainbow hair. We both have very long hair and we absolutely love it when there's rainbow hair Snapchat filters because it looks so awesome on us because we have such long hair. So this is just me spending some time with her really and having a laugh, playing around with silly filters on Snapchat. So it was a fun afternoon that we spent doing that, and of course great photos to scrap. So there we go. So here I am just creating my background. My plan is for my rainbow to come off of so from the right side of the page into the middle, and for the photos to sit on the cloud. But of course I could never just stick it straight on. I have to completely take it apart and put it back together again first. So what I'm doing is I'm fussy cutting out the cloud, and I'm going to distress the edges of the cloud. I do toy with for a while about using the other side. So the other side is kind of like a creamy print. It's off-white, it's not cream, off-white print with black plus signs or crosses on, and I thought that would be quite nice, so I do toy with the idea of using the other side for a while, but in the end I do come back to the white. So I've just distressed the edges and I'm going to sew around that on the sewing machine as well, and what I'm doing right now is cutting the rainbow apart into its natural stripes, and then I'm going to and then I've distressed the edges of all of those as well, and then I'm just going to pop it straight back onto the background. So the background is white, but because I've distressed the edges, I decided not to leave a gap in between the rainbow stripes, but because they wouldn't then fit right, because they're a specific shape, so I wanted them to fit back together, but I wanted the white to show through a little bit. So what I'm doing now is I'm just folding up each piece a little bit, and of course by distressing the edges as well, I also create some white areas as well. Right, just skip forward now. I have sewn in place all of the rainbow stripes. I have also machine stitched around the cloud as well, and I've just stuck that in position directly over the top of the stripes. The cloud is raised up on foam pads, so in real life it has this kind of standout feel. And then my 4 little photos are going to go onto the cloud itself. Because the photos are very white, I have mounted them on a very narrow pink background. So you know the pink wood grain paper that was in this January kit? I've mounted them onto that. It's a very, very narrow background around each one, or mount around each one, but it was just so that they stood out against each other. I'm overlapping the photos, so it doesn't matter if I cover up myself or my daughter, where the photo repeats itself. It's the same photo, so it doesn't matter that it's overlapping. But yeah, I really like this effect of repeating photos. I rarely do it because I can't bear to waste the ink on having printing the same photo more than once, so I rarely do it, but whenever I do it I quite like it. I also quite like doing it when you've got one in black and white and the other one's in colour. I think that's quite cool, the same photo, but again, it's not something I do that often. So around the outside of the cloud I wanted flowers, and the reason I wanted flowers was because there are so many flowers on the mood board. So there's this bicycle wheel on a front door, and that has a whole bunch of lovely beautiful flowers over on the left side. So I have recreated that feel on the cloud itself, with all the flowers coming out of the left side of the cloud. So that was why I went with the flowers. I've used the floral ephemera as well as the regular flowers in the regular ephemera, and some fussy cut ones as well. And because it's a circle on the mood board, so the big wheel, I wanted to use some circular elements on this mood board. And I was also determined to bring in the greeny colour that used to be on the background of the rainbow that I cut away. I just really loved that colour, and I wanted to bring a bit more of it in to match in with the edges. So I took some of the circular elements of chipboard from the chipboard that we had in the January kits, and I have backed those onto that green paper. I had that offcut from where I fussy cut out the rainbow. And then I was able to arrange those onto the layout like that, and pop hearts in the middle, chipboard hearts in the middle. So that was that worked really well. That was a way of getting in the circular elements from the mood board. So I have the rainbow, I have the flowers, I have the circular elements, and there's a small nod to the black and white stripes, because it's a bit of a stretch, to be fair, but on the background of the green it's stripy, only very subtly, but it is stripy, so we'll go with that. Okay, so I'm just continuing to work on my main cluster around my photos. I've got flowers over on the right hand side as well, left, just a small cluster on the right. So I have a plant pot, I have a flower, I have a chipboard flower, and I'm going to build up on that a little bit more later. I wanted to fill in Dream Big. That's a chipboard piece from the chipboard, obviously, and it's a large sticker, so I thought I'd better get that in quick, otherwise I'm going to fill up this layout and not have anywhere to put it. So I've just popped it there above my title, above my photo, sorry, and then unfortunately I could see through the gap between the title and the rainbow. I could see through to the rainbow, and it was on a join, so it wasn't a solid colour. So to sort that out, I just popped a bit of white card behind it to make it a solid piece. So that works well now. I'm happy with how that looks. It kind of looks like it's part of the cloud. And then I had the idea of putting some words down the bottom. Wake Up and Be Awesome was brilliant, but it just didn't look right. It wasn't the right size. So I've gone for more of this, which is just a black and white title. Underneath that I've got Always on the Go, which we certainly are. And I'm just continuing now to add in bits and pieces. So I've added some chipboard stars at the top there, and at the bottom I've added some more chipboard hearts, some more chipboard flowers. I keep just poking in here and there. Because there were so many flowers on the mood board, I wanted to keep bringing those in wherever I could, so just continuing to add bits and pieces wherever I can. Underneath the title I've now put Bad Vibes Don't Go With My Outfit, which I thought was very fitting with this one. And I'm just continuing to add circles as well by coming in with the puff stickers, the buttons, so just continuing to add those in. So I've just added a few on the vertical strip that I've got going on, and one over on the right hand side as well. So just continuing with those. I've also got the really tiny hearts on that sheet too, the puffy sticker hearts, so I've added some of those in as well, just to carry on with this vertical line I've got going on there. They happened quite by accident really. It wasn't planned, but I like the way it looks anyway. So yeah, just carrying on putting another button over on the right hand side there, and I filled in the buttonholes as well with the puffy bits that were on the sticker sheet. So okay, so just really haven't stuck down my photos, so I'm just putting some foam pads behind those now to make sure they don't fall off. I regularly do things like that, finish the layout and then realise that half of it's not stuck down, so good idea to get things stuck as you go. Okay, so now I'm just continuing to add more bits and pieces. So I've found some more chipboard that I hadn't got out on my desk at the time. So I found another pack of chipboard that I had forgotten about. I have used it, but not for this layout. So I was like, oh, what can I find on there? So I found some more circular elements, and I really liked the kind of pie chart pieces. So I've just popped a couple of those in, one above the photos, one right at the top. I love these phrases that I found as well. Follow your dreams, embrace uniqueness, and find your inner unicorn. So they were all brilliant, perfectly good with these photos. So I put those on the rainbow at the top there. So now just adding some twiddles of gold thread, so some tangles under my photos, and then over on the right hand side I'll put some in there as well. I'm going to finish off with some yellow paint splatters. Meet Me at Sunset inklings from the colour kit, the January colour kit. My February kits are really nearly here, but at the time of making this layout they weren't, so that's why I'm still using January. But February very nearly here, and will definitely be here by the time I have another project up, so I'm looking forward to using those. Yeah, just getting in my final twiddles over on the right hand side, taking me some time. My gold thread isn't behaving very well at the moment, I'm not sure why. So now coming in with those splatters of that yellow paint. It's very pretty. I love this colour, and it just gave kind of like a glow around the big cluster that I've got going on. And that's this layout complete. Thank you so very much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed watching me make this layout. I've enjoyed it. I love how it came together. I love the mood board for this week's challenge, so make sure you go along and play along with that over on the Hip Kit Club group on Facebook. Don't forget that if you are a Hip Kit Club subscriber, you get the main kit at a reduced price, 15% discount off all add-on kits, and access to exclusive subscriber cut files. So lots of reasons to subscribe. Thank you very much for joining me today. That was Nikki Rowland for Hip Kit Club.